is that time of the year when we're just inundated and flooded with ads that are preying on our insecurities about what we look like, about our exercise habits, and about our eating habits as well. All of this is just preying on our insecurities to try to sell us a product, and along with the false promises that this is finally going to be your year because you're going to be 20 pounds thinner and you're going to look great naked. And I call bullshit on all of that. And I was expecting it with the new year coming because it happens every single year with New Year's resolutions. But I needed to draw the line when I saw doctors of the physical therapy profession pushing this bullshit. And it makes me really sad that this is being projected onto you as the public, and you need to know what's a gimmick, what's worth your time and money, and what isn't. So today we're talking all about gimmicks in the wellness industry and what to be aware of.
Welcome to Fearless Fridays, where we're talking about everything health and wellness related. My name is Dr. Melissa Chofi. I'm the owner of New Quest Physical Therapy, serving areas in New York and Connecticut. There is so much misinformation out there in regard to the medical field, and with our healthcare model turning more profit-driven, you guys as consumers need to be given all the tools you need to ask the important questions and demand you're getting what you need to ensure a strong, happy, fulfilled, and fearless life. My goal is to empower all of you to stand up for yourselves and be able to call bullshit in a realm that is confusing as fuck. Let's get into the episode.
Even though it's touted as a wellness product, it doesn't mean that it's good for you. Let's also clear up what a gimmick is. So sometimes people will declare something as being a gimmick when in fact it's just something that they don't understand. And rather than learn about that, they'll just be like, oh, well, that's just a bullshit gimmick. I don't believe in that. I don't do that. But a gimmick in actuality is something that is proven to not have any effect or be effective at all. It's proven not to work. And that's how we're using gimmick today in this episode of Fearless Fridays. Our first topic, my absolute favorite to bitch about, diets and detoxes. And both of these are bullshit. Save your money. First off, diets, anything that's eliminating whole food groups. And I hate to be that girl, but keto is a load of bullshit. Your brain is the powerhouse of your body. It is what regulates your hormones. It is what carries out your day-to-day function. It regulates your breathing, your movement patterns, your processing, your body temperature, your decision-making. All of this stuff is what your brain does. So to deny it of carbohydrates and eat 25 to 50 grams of carbs a day is insane. And sure, I know that a lot of you may think that weight loss is an effort towards health when in fact it's not, because as we've discussed before, weight loss is so multifaceted that you can't just pinpoint that as a health measure. So the fact that you're losing 75 pounds on this keto diet, what's happening to your brain and the rest of your body? It's not performing optimally. You're probably tired. You probably can't think. You probably have a brain fog. And how sustainable is this? So any elimination diet, regardless of how it's marketed, whether it's a lifestyle change, a healthy lifestyle, a wellness program, whatever it is, anything that's eliminating and having you count macros or calories or fat grams, it's all bullshit. None of it works. It's not sustainable. In fact, did you guys know that diets, within 5 years after going on a diet or an eating plan, people regain the weight back? So why are you going to waste 5 years of your life not being able to go out with friends, having to read the menu beforehand, having to sit there and track everything that you're putting into your body for the next 5 years when it's proven to fail? So diets are not worth it. If you wanted to really get a grip on your eating patterns, that's all internal work. And we've discussed this before. If you wanted to look into intuitive eating, there's a lot of literature on this. There's workbooks, there's workshops, and this is really the only thing that is going to steer you in the actual direction of health, not a diet. How many diets have you tried? None of them worked, and none of them are going to work because you're not going to sustain it, and that's just a fact. With weight loss and diet culture, what we're really neglecting is focusing on our why. So why are you eating in the ways that you are? Why are you overeating? What makes you feel good? What makes you feel tired? What makes you feel bad? What gives you energy? Are you giving into what your body is saying it wants, or are you just doing it to exercise willpower? Are you full when you step away from the table? Are you still hungry? Are you hungry when you sit down to the table, or are you just eating because that's the time that you're supposed to eat? So all of these are way more important than following a program that somebody dictates what you should be eating, because if you attach your why and your internal locus of control to the behaviors that are happening with food and with exercise, you're way more likely to stick to that and way more likely to reach a health goal, and I mean an actual health goal, than you are following some arbitrary bullshit that some millionaire decided to write in a book who has no experience in nutrition. Also, I don't care what superfoods you're being offered. First of all, there's no such thing as a superfood, so keep that in the back of your brain. Detoxes in and of themselves are loads of bullshit. Your liver and your kidneys detox everything that you need to, unless you have a malfunction of any of them. But if you're a normal, healthy person, your liver and your kidneys do all the detox you need. So you don't need fancy diuretics to flush your system out, because that is just a load of bullshit. It's a money marketing technique, and it is false. So save your money and save your time. I thought the last topic was going to get me fired up, but this next one actually gets me fired up more as a physical therapist. So next we're going to talk about gimmicky passive solutions, and I'll get into what I mean by that. So I'm a PT by career, and what that means is I focus on movement as medicine. I make all of my clients move. I will not have my hands on them for an hour and then let them be on their merry way. They are going to do work. So the importance of this is that if you're suffering from a loss of range of motion, if you're suffering from a strength deficit, if you're even suffering from a flexibility deficit, if you're not able to do things in your life that you want to do, you are not going to be able to do those things with just hands-on treatment, just foam rolling, just these myofascial release guns. It's all a load of bullshit. So if you're not pushing your body to those challenges of the new ranges of motion that you gained with some of these modalities, if you actually did, your effects are going to be very short term and you're not going to sustain them. That's a fact. Your brain doesn't have that neural pathway. So what happens is, let me walk you through something. So if my patient, say I have a client and she's having difficulty with her hip range of motion, I will do a hands-on hip stuff for her hip or whatever, wherever her deficits lie. But after that, I'm going to take her through a progression of movements to retrain her body and her brain to form new pathways to be able to get that hip to move optimally so that she can carry out her day-to-day functions on her own. I'm not going to be with you the rest of your life. I love you guys, but I tell all my clients, I don't want to see you for the next 20 years, unless you want to see me, but I want to make you as independent as I can. So any of these passive things, like the new thing is a Theragun, and if you haven't seen this, it might be called something different. So it basically looks like a drill with a big ball on the end, and you literally take it and press a button, and it pounds the crap out of your muscles. This does nothing. There are so many claims that this speeds up recovery and helps recovery, and it doesn't do any of that. It might feel good. You might feel loose and like you have less restrictions, but unless you're taking advantage of that and taking your body through all these new patterns of movement, you are not going to feel any different tomorrow unless you're a little bruised. That's the only difference you'll feel, but it does not speed up recovery. Active movement is the only thing that does that, as well as progressive loading. So don't be fooled. The next passive solution that drives me insane are topical treatments claiming to reduce your body fat and get rid of your cellulite. Ladies, cellulite is normal. You might not think it's pretty, but as we evolve as a society, it's more socially acceptable. So you putting a topical cream onto your thighs is not going to fix your cellulite. So what is cellulite? So you have layers in your skin. You have fat on one layer, and then you have superficial connective tissue here. And for whatever reason, I'm not sure, you can double check me on this. I don't know if they really know the cause of it, but what happens is that the fat puckers up through that connective tissue, giving the skin a dimply appearance. So that's where that cottage cheese effect comes from. So if you're buying these creams and you're having somebody rub creams into your cellulite, you might look great for a day, maybe 2 days. But as soon as you start to drink water, it's going to come back. As soon as that cream wears off, it's going to come back. There is no way a topical solution can penetrate that deep into your skin to get rid of the fat that's under the connective tissue. Also, fat burners that are topical, you're putting a fat burner through your skin that's going to go all the way through your skin to penetrate the fat and dissolve the fat. How does it not dissolve your skin? So all I'm saying, guys, like, these claims, they sound great. The before and after pictures look great, but keep in mind too that there's subtle lighting differences and there's subtle angle changes, and I've seen this where the before and after look phenomenal, when in fact that's probably, if it was under the same exact conditions, you would look exactly the same. And 3 days later, you're going to look exactly the same. So if you want to look good in your mind for a day or a couple of hours, by all means, go ahead for shits and giggles, but realize that this is not changing anything. This is not sculpting your body. This is not doing anything for you. And all it's doing is having you spend more money. So just be aware of that. And I had to talk about this because I've seen it on so many physical therapists' websites as a, I don't know, like a skill that they perform. And it drives me crazy. It's fascial distortion. So, what does this mean? Let's talk about fascia first. So fascia are thick bands of connective tissue that envelop pretty much everything in our body. Our organs, our muscles, our bones, our nerves. It's just like an encapsulating soft tissue. And it helps keep the integrity of our bodies intact. It absorbs and transmits forces throughout the body as we take on different loads throughout the day. So some people will think that, oh, well, you have tight fascia, you have tightness, your fascia needs to be broken up. Unless this person is Godzilla, there is no way they're breaking up anything. Not with their hands, not with a tool, not with a Theragun like we talked about, not with a foam roller. Fascia is so strong. There is no way it's being broken up by somebody. So if that's their claim to fame, then you need to find somebody else, because that is a gimmick, and it's just a ridiculous gimmick. And I can't, it blows my mind that this is even a selling point on a therapist, because we're better than that, and you deserve better than that. In a culture so high on distraction, now is a more important time than ever to pay attention to our bodies, our mind, and our spirits. We need to understand our whys. We need to understand what drives us, what motivates us. And we are so hell-bent on suppressing feelings and what we're feeling for the sake of what we look like to other people, that we really just need to feel the damn thing, because that's the only thing that's going to ensure our health and wellness. And get us to our actual whys. Why do we want to be healthy? What does health look like to us beyond weight loss, beyond what we look like, beyond the external? You can't fix something that's going on internally driving you with an external solution like a sculpted body, whatever that means, a 25-pound weight loss. None of this helps with your actual health. We are so distracted by shiny new objects that we run to the next best thing, thinking that it's going to help us in the long run. And in the end, all it does is waste our time, our money, and our confidence. So if anything, for 2020, I challenge you. I challenge you to question things. I challenge you to think harder. I challenge you to journal about what you're feeling, about what you want to change. I want you to journal about your whys. I want you to recognize them. And I want you to be confident in calling people out on their stupid bullshit that are trying to just suck you dry of money. I know what it's like to be a business owner and struggle monetarily, but one thing that I pride myself on is my integrity. And no matter how hard times get, I will take a job at McDonald's or Starbucks before I go and sell gimmicks to people under the pretense of being a doctor of physical therapy. And I just want you guys to know all of the bullshit that is out there. Keep questioning, keep learning, keep analyzing, and most importantly, stay fearless. See you next week.